Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. So glad to have you all here. So good to be with you. This is a sharing that there's already nothing to get. Already nothing to do. Already no one to become. That everything is already it already, whether the sound of my voice, sitting in your chair, taking a sip of coffee or tea, maybe thoughts are arising. That's this already. Feelings. Feelings are this, however they're showing up, exactly as they're showing up, can appear as anything. Depression, joy, sadness, anxiety, anything. It's just not anyone doing it. You're not doing it. You didn't bring it, so you can't make it go away. Doing requires separation. You need a doer, someone who's doing, and then the thing or object that they're. So that's always going to be dualistic. And what we're talking about is everything already. So that sense even of a me, that's not you, and it's not yours. It's this appearing as a separate self or a me, exactly as it is, with all its quirks, all its unique ways of seeing, are already this. And so just what's happening is not happening to you, for you, because of you. There's just simply what's happening. And what's happening is everything. So this is everything right now. There's nothing else. There's this apparent Zoom meeting, something called non-duality. And that's this too. The Zoom meeting, the label, non-duality, this voice speaking, that over there is supposedly listening, which that's all this. And as I've shared many times, here it was Nkosi's word already that struck, you could say, struck my heart, because already was here, heard as freedom. He said, there's already no me there, but even if it feels like one, it doesn't It doesn't mind. But really, there's already not a me there. But if it feels like there's a me there, that's this too. So it's just as much this, you could say. And something here just completely resonated because to tell a story, this was seeking for its true nature. And it sounds very noble, looking for your true nature. It sounds plausible. But I never discovered my true nature. And then when Nkosi said, well, there isn't a you. So that would explain why you can't find your true nature. There isn't one. There's just this, just whatever's happening, exactly as it's appearing. And yet, it is as the appearance, and yet you can never find it. You can look right now. You just can't find anything here. You have to go to imagination, tell a story to find something here. And that can resonate, that there's no separation. Something in you can just, yeah. And again, already means nothing to do if it's already. And yet doing can seem to happen. And that's just this too, appearing to do. So there's nothing wrong with doing. There's nothing right with doing. So you can read spiritual books, you cannot read them. You can watch sports, cannot watch sports. It literally doesn't matter. That's the freedom. That is the freedom. It doesn't matter. And to the me, everything matters. My God. You know, some of you know I teach chess 5 days a week at different schools throughout Los Angeles. And, you know, chess is all about your next move, you know, setting it up, preparing it, strategizing, you know, tactics, all that. And that's what the me does, basically. The me views its life as a big chess game. There's winners and there's losers. And well, I certainly don't want to be a loser, so I better get cracking. And so it can make for drama. It's pretty exciting stuff. You know, that's why we love watching sports or competition. Who's going to win? I don't know. You know, we have to watch and find out. But it doesn't matter. It's still all this, whether it's, you know, your team or the other team. What you call my team and you call the other team, that team is doing the exact same thing to your team. You know, to them, they're, you know, this is our team and you guys are the other team. And so it's this wonderful dance that is beautiful if you, yeah. So this is an open meeting. Everybody's invited to participate. If you have a comment, question, anything, you're welcome to share it. Just unmute.
Well, it's beautiful what you just said there, Michael. Thank you so much for that. So I've been tested, the quick stories, I've been tested the last 4 or 5 months. They diagnosed cancer in the body like in October. And then they did some surgery, did some immunotherapy, went back to get checked, and they found a marker for more cancer that spread. So it's interesting. There's a lot of me in that. I see me dying and researching and, the whole 9 yards, when you get sick. And then today, doctor calls me, I'm now negative again, that I had a 1% chance of a false positive, 1% of that test. And it was false positive. So before I was like, well, in my mind, I got 1 to 3 years left. That was the prognosis. Now I've got 15, 20 till I hit 90 and then die of whatever, or before then. So I've been being tested like this me. And when I look at it that, oh, I only have a year left, what am I going to do? Right? That thought, if you only have a year left, what are you going to do with your life? Now I've got, say, 20. It doesn't really change much to who I am, or to what is, what you're referring to, what is that. This is just what is. And the experience that was here is just what is. And how do I say this? It's like live, die, sick, not sick, all that stuff that we deal with. It's like, okay, and it's going to happen, right? It's just going to happen the way that it happens. And when I'm in the me, it's torture. When I'm in the me, it's torture. And when I'm not in the me, which I've been at times, thank God to this group and the whole non-dual stuff, where I'm not me, and I get that it's just happening, then it's like, it's way different than, like, I would first say, oh, I have cancer. And then I remember Ram Dass once said, when he had his stroke, he said, I didn't have a stroke, I was stroked. And that stuck with me. And it's like, like a real non-dual teaching. So I've been practicing, I don't have cancer. I don't have cancer. Cancer may be in the body, but I don't have it. And so even though I'm more pumped up now because I'm not going to die, that's nice. But that's also just what that is. Does that make sense? I'm thinking, oh, now that I'm not going to die, I'm going to live. I should be just ecstatic. Oh, life. Oh my God. Oh, that kind of stuff. And it's like in this moment, especially talking to you guys, it's the same. Whether I was going to live 1 year or the next 15 years, it's just what is. It's just what's going on. Does that make sense? It's just what's happening. It's
Hey, Don,
yeah.
you're already dead.
Okay, yeah. Listen, let me process that a bit more. That's a good one. Well, I wouldn't say I'm dead, but I'm not alive. How's that? I'm not dead, but I'm not alive.
There's no Don.
Okay, we're going there. Yeah, okay, I get that one. Yeah.
There's just this. There's just this. There's this appearing as a cancer diagnosis. There's this getting tested false positive. There's this
Right.
roller coaster of emotions.
Right.
Of course, naturally, very natural. Of course, you would be depressed to hear that it came back, and of course, you'd be exhilarated to hear that it was a false positive. But neither one of those two, those were both this.
Okay. That, so everything is validated in that way, right? Since it's all this, everything is valid that this is everything. Is that like a validation to this, or is that a story?
Well, this is just what's happening. So you saying that
Okay.
is this. You saying that.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll let other people talk. I have to digest.
See, even the trying to figure it out is this. The sense of seeking, the sense of wanting to be somewhere else. There's something better than just this. That feeling, exactly that feeling of wanting something else is this, appearing as wanting something else. Or, wow, this is great. I love this. This is a great meeting. I really resonate with this message. If that's arising, then that's just this too. Ah, when's Nkosi gonna get here? Come on. Just this.
Just sort of got, really, Nkosi's never coming.
No.
This is it here.
Yeah.
And I want him here on the screen for sure, but at the same time, it's like, I don't need Nkosi. I don't,
Yeah.
it's just this. It's very beautiful.
Yeah, exactly, Don. See, that's the beauty and the freedom of just this is if it arises that you really want Nkosi to get here, that's just this. If no, I'm good, I'm enjoying, this is good. If Nkosi comes, great. If he doesn't, still all good. That could arise too. So there's no particular way this, the me sort of has this preconceived notion of what's coming, what it wants next, all that. And that's all imagined. There's just this, what's happening.
Yeah, the Messiah never comes. And if the Messiah ever comes, it will just be coming in a story. There'll be a story of Messiah coming, and it won't change anything. This is already what it is. The Messiah is already what is.
Yeah. That's a good point, Dan, because what they do is they turn Jesus into, we got to follow the teachings of Jesus. So it completely, what Jesus was saying was, of course, never heard. And instead, they just made him into a prophet.
Well, also the story, I mean, like Don, I think, you were noticing that, well, okay, I'm positive. Oh no, now I'm negative. And then maybe, this whole, and do I have a year to live or 5 years, or am I going to get hit by a bus in the next minute or whatever? I mean, that's all the story. And you're like noticing that. But also I'm in the me now. And then there are moments when when the me is gone and I'm not in the me. That's the same story. It's all the same story. Everything that we are going to say here tonight is the same story, except there's this, which isn't the story. It's already what it is, no matter what stories come up. And the stories will keep coming up. They're infinite. But there's no one that they're about. This is no one already. And then if something comes up, there's some energy of, and I've got to get it. I've got to understand, or I'm so close. And that last moment was really good. Let me get onto that. Okay, yeah, that's this too. That's part of the story that shows up, but it's irrelevant, really. The story is irrelevant. It's funny. It's everything. It's everything going on, but it's also irrelevant because it's already. whatever it is already, this is, it can't be more this than this.
I notice internally what happens for me when we talk about things or when I listen to this kind of message or whatever I'm doing, my sitting in the morning or whatever is, I notice because of this understanding of, thou art that, or however one wants to say it. I'm looking for, I'm looking at, this isn't going to maybe make sense. Looking at things singularly, like there's something that arises and it's, hold it. It's like, yeah, that too. But I'm doing it, how do I say? It's like a singular thing, whereas it must be that it's more like an orchestra. Like things are more like an orchestra. There's things arising simultaneously. And I mean, and that's it too. And or however, I've got to be part of that there can't be separation, but is it fair to say that if this is just that it is multiplicity. It's like it can be complex. It can be that like, it's not just like one experience at a time where this is it and this is it, but it could be, I'm comparing it to like an orchestra, like a symphony, right? Sometimes in a symphony, you'll have a one instrument that's predominant and it's playing but then the whole orchestra plays in a beautiful mixture of different things. And so that's got to be it too, right? I mean, I guess I'm just trying to, I'm externally processing. I'm talking to process, obviously, but I'm just noticing what I'm doing with the message, right? I get that, like if everything is me and there isn't me, there's not, it's just this, I notice that I'm still in my head sort of singling things out or experiences that are arising out one by one, as opposed to trying to recognize or rest in the symphony of life, and the symphony of what is arising, which is a multiplicity of things going on. There's noise and movement all simultaneously, right? Like, can anyone speak to that at all? Or
That everything you shared wasn't Janet speaking. That's the universe speaking. And now this is the universe speaking. There's no Michael, there's no Janet, there's no individual, nobody owns sound. So I love your analogy of the orchestra, because I often look at everything as instruments, different musical instruments. Oh, look at that one. Look at this one. But it's all this. It's one orchestra. There's no separation. So this can appear as a flute, a cello. Go ahead.
So one orchestra appearing as many singular instruments or whatever that is, right? One orchestrated, just arising.
Right, but it's not like in the future, off in some distant.
No,
it's this
no,
right here.
no,
Yeah.
no, right here.
Yeah.
But right here, I mean, right here, there is a multiplicity of arisings, if one could describe that. like, there's just this spatially sounds, like all of it is just boom, right? And I've got to be part of the boom. And I know that that's an intellectualization. I'm just, yeah, it's just one orchestrated now. And yes, now, not some idea. It's just every moment is got to be a singular multiplicity of something. I don't know. I don't know how to explain that, or whether I'm just trying to, again, I'm trying to
Yeah.
connect with sort of the sense of what I seem to experience or feel, or I don't know if even that's the right word, the sense.
So that's just this, trying to figure this out.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
A singular
Mm.
multiplicity is good, or you could call it a multiple singularity. Or
Ooh,
you could call it the universe, or you could call it the orchestra, or you could call it Janet. It's all the same thing. And it's already multiple, because that's how it's showing up as multiple things, and it's one thing.
yeah. Okay.
One, and it's not multiple, but it does show up that way. That's what I'd say.
Yeah. Okay. 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 Yeah. No, thank you. Yeah. Just,
But where would we go? Where would we get to if we found out how to really say it, or what it really
yeah.
is?
No, yeah. I don't know if there's any, yeah, that's a good point. Then, uh, uh,
Yeah.
to even that tuning, that, I guess, I don't know if it's a wanting to get it, it's a there's that is it too. The sense of curiosity or wonder or whatever, that is it too, arising in the multiplicity of it all simultaneously. Thanks for the input.
So the input is thanking itself for the input. That's what we do here.
I just felt to say hi to Jenny and to Lila. I have not seen you in a while, so it's really nice to see you.
Yay.
So I've been, thank you, Alice, for breaking the ice there. I've been like, my heart's been going like this, waiting to maybe say something and try to figure out, should I say something or should I wait till I don't have to be seen somehow. But so yeah, so well, it seems like there's so many things coming up. I feel like I need a 10-hour like one-on-one or something with somebody. But yeah, probably nothing would come out if I did that. But so I guess I've been listening to a lot of like uncompromising radical speakers like Andreas. And it's a double-edged thing because there's a me here. Because sometimes it feels so relieving to hear that just straight on. But then at other times it's like, it seems like he's really saying that the only liberation is to die, like that he died. I mean, there's no Andreas, and like, while that sense of me is still here, there will never, this is how my interpretation, there will never be peace. And so like, I love, in a way, it is relaxing to hear this, everything is this, whether there's a me there or not, like Nkosi saying. And I mean, I listen to Sander a lot with his, no matter what, it's, you know, what it is, whatever's happening. But yeah, and I'm in a group with Era every week, a Patreon thing. And like other people also expressing that, like, it just seems like it's a, what do you call it? Like totally random event, whether this just happens that, you know, you die before you die or whatever, or not. And otherwise, you know, you just can never see this because you're always seeing through the me. And so, and I guess as I was just listening to Janet, I meant to mention that first, like when she was saying when the way she was describing, I guess, because it's the me sense looking to see like, oh, that's the right way to see that, oh, it's everything. And then hearing, I mean, in the same way, however it shows up is how it shows up. I don't know, this is total rambling. See, I have a lot of unconnected blather. So I don't know if there's anything else that
Beautiful, beautiful. But no, really, it's lovely. It's just this. That's
yeah,
just this rambling. It's lovely.
it is just as soon, like I had just seen, I somehow this time of night, like I kind of set a timer, but I also have this kind of shy character that still wants to hide behind my mother's feet as a child. Like I don't want to be seen. Don't call my name. Don't see me. But yeah, I just saw a quote right before. Sometimes I just like I look at it, oh, it's 9:30 here. I'm 3 hours later. It's like, oh, I missed it, darn. But I just saw a quote by someone that said, this something like this can't be seen, or this can never be seen because the one seeing is me, is the separate self or the me. Like, oh man, like come on. So like I don't know. So like, and then it is very frustrating, that idea that there's the me doesn't exist yet it's doing all this stuff. Like it's seeing and interpreting or whatever, but it doesn't exist. It's just like, but yeah. But there's no
You know, I
choice
think-
not to keep, to not, like, this is the only thing that there's any pull towards left in life. I mean, I can't just drop this and go do something else, because nothing else is, it does feel very stuck, like nowhere to go. My son tries to get me to travel, like, I can't do things. Can't do it. And it could be this way forever. So, I don't know. Okay, that's all. Shh.
Well, the good news is there's already nobody there to become free. So freedom is never going to happen, ever. Nobody's ever gotten free. I'm not free. Kosi's not free. Nobody's free. Freedom is everything. It's not for an individual. Nobody see, that's the thing about me, is it wants to have it. I want the freedom.
It sure looks like I follow Era on Instagram, and she's in Sri Lanka right now, and she has gorgeous pictures, like the most beautiful place on the planet. It's like, how does this even still exist anymore? Like, and there is imagining that that's free. I mean, that's what freedom is like. Like that's the most beautiful place. You know, it's just, I don't know, it looks that way. It's just, it's hard for me, I guess, to see that.
Right.
Yeah.
So that makes complete sense, right? That beautiful, picturesque, postcard-esque water seems like it would be better than a Zoom meeting.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yes. But I also related to what Dawn said about I could only have a year to live, and then find out, oh, I may have 30 more years to live, being the same. Like it's, yeah.
Nobody knows. See,
Yeah.
that's why the unknowing is, you know, you begin to loosen on what you're so sure of, you know.
So it does seem like that sense is just not happy no matter but that is what seems to be what happening. This thing that just says no to everything seems to be what's happening. I don't know.
If I could jump in, that I think it's important. It's important that you said what seems to be happening, because what seems to be happening, it could be the beauty of Sri Lanka, the slums of Baltimore, you know, where in my area, it's just what is. And
Yeah.
and in just sort of seeing what is, not that there's anybody to see it, but in that seeing, there's an equanimity. It's like everything is just sort of an equality. If it's beautiful, that's how it appears to you. That's what's happening, or that's what's showing up, is words you used. And if it's something else, that's what's showing up. So there's no good, bad, you know, it's not that good is better than bad, or the beauty is better than the so-called ugly. It's just what's happening for no one. And in that, there's like almost a peaceful serenity into whatever in what is. And even if you're telling, if there appears to be telling stories about things, that's what is too. And so as there's a sense of a me, no problem. That's what's showing up. That's what is too, the sense of a me. And then everything just sort of collapses into just this equalness that's always there. And I think that's what Don was also pointing to as well, is that things are just, there's like an unfolding of happenings. And if it's in that space of unknowingness, then everything just is as it is.
So even with that, I mean, I'm not doing that voice that's saying, I mean, Boston in the winter now with no snow on the ground, no leaves on the trees looks so ugly. I just watch it just like this voice, like, oh my God, it's so ugly. And then pictures of Eris where she is, you know, like I'm not doing that comparison. And I'm not doing those thoughts that are like, oh my God, another 6 months of this. Like, so there's still like, I mean, while that critical story is going on, so there, I don't know. Yeah.
The critical story is this too.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with the critical story.
You know, I just want to say, yeah, this vision of the Sri Lanka that could be, and that is there, and I could get, and it's the, or the, you know, rotten Boston, that's just the same old thing. That's nothing new. That is the me. That's been going on the whole time. All the me, every moment. I mean, lunch is coming and it's going to be the thing, or, you know, this is traffic and it sucks. And tomorrow, it's the same, that's the me looking for the thing. And that is the experience of me. And it, you know, that can just wear out at some point. It can. That energy can just not be so interesting, and then there's something else that seems more alive, sort of. But you know, as we're saying, it's all already this, so it doesn't matter. But I mean, you know, Lila, you're just expressing the me, the energy of me, which we all know that's what this is, you know, this sense of separation is looking for something else.
Yeah.
And what we're saying here is this is the something else. It's only this, the something else, the sense of something else is not, it's an illusion. And that it can wear itself out.
Yeah. It can't get out of its own way.
Yeah.
It's like, get out of my own way. And
Had nothing to do with you. That's You know, it really doesn't. It's just this the way that things are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing all of things.
You guys. Ah,
Well, I remember, Lila, seeing your name on many Zoom meetings, never seeing your face before. So I think
oh,
it's awesome to see you in person, and I
thank
that's really
you.
cool that you came out of hiding.
Sorry.
I think it's a big deal that you came out of hiding. It's nice to see you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
So everything's simply what it is. You know, a cup of chamomile tea is just a cup of chamomile tea. It's very simple. It's just what it is. So a pain in the body is just a pain in the body. It's not yours. Doesn't belong to anybody. Nobody made it happen. It's just what seems to be arising.
And what seems to be arising is that that's the teaching completed. That's the complete teaching right there. What seems to be arising, whether it's the pain that seems to be there, or the story that seems to be there, or the me that seems to not get out of its way, that's just what's arising. And then there's nothing to do, because everything, it's so inclusive that even the so-called me, whatever, that's included too. So there's nothing to do, because everything is already and always complete, exactly and just as it is.
And the me is kind of this feeling that, well, what something could arise that will be more or this, more, you know, and it's the arising is arising, but it's not different. There's no arising that's special or that is it. The arising is arising, and it's already it. This is it.
That's a good point, Dan, because the feeling of searching, seeking, looking for what's arising, that's it too. And even that seeking. So whether the me seems to go away or seems to stay, either one is just fine. Each one is exactly equal. So if you ask when will the me go away, it'll go away when it goes away, or it doesn't go away. Either one is exactly okay, just as it is.
Just as you're saying that, it just reminded me of I remember, I still like listening to Andreas. I still get a clear feeling that there's before liberation, after liberation, even though like when there's someone dead, there's no more experience. I'm not saying that right, but I think I lost what I was going to say there. I saw NKOSI there. Yeah, I can't remember what I was going to say. I lost it. Never mind.
Well, the me is already dead. The me is
Yeah.
already not there. It doesn't exist already. So it's not, you're not going to die. The body will appear and bodies come and go.
Oh, I know what it was. Sorry.
Go
It
ahead.
was that he said like through this, like, I mean, then he'll also all the time say, well, everything's whole, and wholeness, the me is also that, you know, it's just wholeness is the only thing doing this. But he once said there's absolutely no difference between seeking and not seeking. Like it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of reminding me what you're just saying.
Yeah. Well, they're both this. Seeking, this can appear as seeking, and this can also appear as not seeking.
So that means there wasn't any death, and there isn't any liberation, and there isn't anything that's going to come out of the story that's different than this. If Andreas was here right now, he'd tell you.
Well, I'll say it, nothing's going to happen.
But it's a paradox. I mean, of course, the me is trying to figure this out and straighten it out, get it all. How does this all? It doesn't. I mean, it makes no sense. It makes no sense that you know, the me has to die to see this, and yet it's already this. It doesn't make sense. And it doesn't matter.
It doesn't stop it from trying, and
So there's
Maybe,
no
you know,
liberation.
sorry.
There's no liberation.
Yeah.
There's no liberation because there's nothing to be liberated. It's already done.
Right, exactly. But what Lila's talking about is all these non-duality speakers are all talking about, oh, this great shift that happened, or
Yeah.
this me died, and you know, this great. So, and that story is that's there too. They go together and they don't go together, but
Yeah.
I do
Wait.
notice like the radical speaker, the most radical, they do all have a different way of kind of expressing, and one will say like, well, I wouldn't say that. So, but it's just like, but this sense of seeking is trying to find the right one exactly, as if any are exactly
Right.
perfect. Like,
Jenny, were you gonna say something?
I just keep laughing because I keep trying to unmute and mute. I don't know why it's such a struggle for over here, but it's just all so relatable. So thank you for, it's like, it's almost like what this wants to do now. Like there's things that are seen, like there's no me and all of this is just happening. And there's seemingly this persevering, everything everybody says is true and there's no doubt about it, and it's not true, but there's this just this play of something that still feels like there's a little bit of something to figure out, and then it can even be immediately seen that wait, but there's nobody to figure out. And not that I know that, but it resonates, it's known. And yet, like even how Dan was just saying, and everybody says this can be known, even though they're coming from a place of not knowing, or the me wears thin. And it's like, I don't even know that I feel that I can't say I feel separate, and I can't say I feel there's a me here. And there's also here just this play of, I don't quite have that, whatever is had there is not quite had here. So I could totally, I can't put it down, or it's not even, I can't put it down. This is the play over here.
Beautiful.
And
That's it already, Jenny.
yeah.
Exactly that, of almost getting it. I'm so close. If maybe Nkosi could say a few words and it'll become clear.
I think so.
Nkosi, welcome. Unmute and jump in.
And Nkosi.
Hi, Kosi. Hi, everyone. Yeah, this just what's happening. Asking of a question and answer being given, expectations, desires arising, discussion. This just simply what's happening. This can never really be known because there is no separation. It's already everything. Yeah, it's beautiful. Even when it seems not to be beautiful, it's just okay. Here, there is that sense of okayness with what seems to be everybody and everything, apparently. There's really nowhere to get to. There's really nothing to be done. You know, even what appears to be a seeker is already empty. There's nobody behind the seeker who's seeking. It's just disappearing as seeking. So the seeker really is already not there. So, and there's really nothing to find. Yeah, there's just simply what's happening. And this, as it is, what's happening isn't being done by anybody, and it's not going anywhere. There may be an idea that's arising in this that seems to say maybe this I'm gonna achieve something. You know, if I continue to listen to Nkosi, I'm gonna, you know, finally get it. But there's just also this, as it is appearing, is that there isn't anybody who's gonna get it. There's just this expressing is that too. So as I always say, there is no escape. You know, this may appear as anything. You know, it may appear as a thought, as a strong sensation. It may appear as an experience of separation, but there's no real experience. It's just, you know, an appearance. So there's really nothing to achieve. There's really nothing to find. There's simply what seems to be happening. And what seems to be happening isn't happening to anybody. And it's going nowhere. There's already nobody here. And there's already nobody here who's talking about this. There's just this. And this doesn't know anything. Yet knowing may appear. It's just an appearance, which is already this unknowable, indescribable, what is appearing as that. So this is already empty. This doesn't have anybody in it to talk. This can never be found because it's never lost. This what is already worthless. It doesn't require any word to be spoken for it to be what it is. Yet words may seem to appear. This is neither meaningful or meaningless. It's just what's happening. So all thoughts, all sensations, they're already empty. There's nobody behind them. That which seems to be looking for this can never really find this because it doesn't exist. It is already this, what is being longed for, appearing as that. So there's nothing to find anything here. It's just this. Appearing as blinking, appearing as waiting, appearing as giving up, appearing as not getting it, appearing as getting it, appearing to play as the devil's advocate. What's happening? And it's not personal. And it's going nowhere. There's no journey. There are no steps to get to anywhere. There's no doer of anything here. There's just this. And this isn't talking to anybody. It's just this appearing as talking. Yeah. It's just nothing happening. It's beautiful for nobody.
Yeah, this appearing is everything, even crappy internet connection. That's this too.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Any last comments or questions before we close out this evening?
I have a silly comment. I want to rush on to be on time because, you know, we do a little chit chat before you do your meditation. And we maybe 5 or 7 minutes, we chit chat. And I really missed that tonight. We'll say, what's the temperature? How was your vacation? Where do you live? That kind of thing. And that seemed to be kind of a sweet thing we did with each other, but I noticed it wasn't there tonight. So you asked for comments. That's my comment.
Thank you. Beautiful. Yeah, I never know what's going to happen at the start of the meeting. I don't know if there's going to be silence, if there's going to be chit chat. I just don't know.
Oh,
I just wanted to say thank you to everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Allowing you to come out.
Yeah. Thank you to each and every one of you for coming. We so love and appreciate everyone. And Nkosi, no words. Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
bye, everybody.
I'm
Everyone.